All right. With that, we are going to start taking a look at news, but I will say this up top. I am going to my teleprompter, which I rely on, which is great. I didn't have that back in the schmoes day. The teleprompter remote kaput. I've got to throw it away. I got the bat, nothing. So we get to do this awkward thing. I start the music. I press the button. Here's a look at some of the headlines making the world spin this week. We're off and running. Ansar Allah, the supporters of God, first came into the world scene in the 1990s, based out of Yemen and known more commonly as the Houthi rebels, the Islamic political and military group. Might not have been known by everyone around the world then, but they should know them now. This after the World Tag Team Champions of War, the United States, the United Kingdom, with a little help from other countries, carried out the first direct strikes against the Iranian-backed group Thursday and kept going, some 60 strikes and counting at the time of me pressing that little button. The strikes came after the Houthi rebels kept attacking commercial ships in the Red Sea, one of the key shipping lanes of the world. The strikes didn't come without provocation. According to the news reports found on the World Wide Web, the Houthi rebels have struck around 27 times since mid-November. And even though the Houthis have claimed to target ships going to Israel, making them heroes to most American college freshmen, they have struck ships that have nothing to do with the Israeli government's war in Gaza against Hamas, the burden of that war, which is being carried by the Palestinian people. There, did I cover all my bases? I'm trying, people. I'm trying. The strikes, in my opinion, were earned by the Houthis, an international game of fuck around and find out. Though U.S. officials are publicly saying there is no concern about this pushing the war in Gaza out beyond those borders, it's hard not to see this all as a tense game of political Jenga. The Houthis currently have a fragile ceasefire going to Saudi Arabia, folks, in Yemen. But could that be over? Iran backs not just this group, but groups in Iraq and Syria that the U.S. has already carried out strikes against, and all of them are looking for a reason to wipe out Israel. And as an added bonus, the U.S. officials really wanted Iran to help calm down the problems in the Red Sea and are now saying Iran didn't help. Oh no, the Houthi leader Abdul Malik al-Houthi, I get it, responded to the attacks by threatening attacks that will be much more than attacks on U.S. ships. I used the word attack 3 times. So I know we all want to know what Selena Gomez said to Taylor Swift at the Golden Globes. So, look, we'll keep an eye on this one for you all, but while you're reading Tay-Tay's lips, could you help us keep an eye on the fact that Sweden, the country that for centuries has publicly said, war, good God, y'all, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, has sent 800 troops to Latvia to help secure the Russian border there and has warned its citizens to prepare for war should Putin succeed in Ukraine. That seems like something to watch, especially if your uncle keeps voting for Republicans who want to stop sending a small portion of our annual military budget to help Ukraine. Anyway, I think Selena and Taylor were talking about Kylie and Timothy, but got caught dishing on the tea on camera, so Selena had to deny it. And hey, how about a U.S. political story? It's an election year, after all, to which that work friend you have who believes that both sides suck says, another election. I just want to talk about Selena Gomez getting cast as Linda Ronstadt, which I do too. It's a great choice. CHRISTIE, who recently apologized for voting for Donald Trump in 2016, yet seemed to forget he also did so in 2020, dropped out of the race to become the number 2 candidate for the Republican presidential nominee. And you know what? I'll miss those debate sound bites of the first son of Newark, New Jersey, hammering Vivek Ramaswamy and telling MAGA people to their dumbstruck faces that Donald Trump is a liar and a cheat. But it was never going to work out for you, Governor. The cult you run with has its leader. But before he left, CHRISTIE gave us one last good moment when part of a conversation he was having with a New Hampshire campaign chair was caught on a hot mic. In regards to Nikki Haley, CHRISTIE, a modern-day version of Leslie Nielsen and the Naked Gun, said she's going to get smoked, and you know it, and I know it. She's not up to this. CHRISTIE then said, DeSantis called me, petrified that Then the sound was cut off by a sound guy who knows he's now a day away from reactivating his premium LinkedIn account. Of course, I'm not laughing at my own joke there. There's a big pause in this thing. When he was referring to the last 2 remaining Republican presidential candidates not currently in any sort of criminal trial. Nikki, states' rights, Haley, and Ron, so this is what an AI looks like when it tries to be human DeSantis. Did any of that make sense? All right. And those two had a big debate this week ahead of the crucial Iowa caucus, and I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. Hell, I didn't watch clips of it. Double hell. I skipped over the recap on it on my CNN 5 Things Daily News update meal. And email, that's bad. You should watch these things. You should pay attention to all the candidates, know what they're saying, and see how it sits with y'all. I really do believe that. But there's no point this time around because we all know who's showing up in the fall for this political party. We all know who's going to break through that wall like a big orange Kool-Aid man saying, "Oh, yeah," to his followers. And unless someone puts up a wood bar to trip him as he breaks through like a political shockmaster, Donald Trump will be the one running for this broken, feckless, outrage-mongering party. And finally, Hunter Biden pleaded not guilty in a Los Angeles federal court this week to 9 federal charges, 3 of them felonies against him, based around failing to pay over $1 million in taxes and fraudulently filing forms with the IRS. In truth, it was more of a scheme to avoid paying the taxes, but he has since repaid it all. The trial is set for June this year, just in time for Republicans to use it every which way against Joe Biden, whether it's proof of Joe Biden benefiting from Hunter's dealings with foreign businesses or not. And hey, I say this, if there is proof, actual impeachable proof, we'll know soon enough, and that ain't a bad thing. But the fun wrinkle in all of this was Hunter Biden showing up on Capitol Hill the day before and crashing the hearing being held by House Republicans trying to hold Hunter in contempt, criminal contempt for ignoring a congressional subpoena to appear in a closed-door deposition related to the matter of impeaching his father, Ice Cream Joe. Hunter has said in a mock press conference outside the Capitol that day that he would be willing to speak only at a public hearing. For about 10 minutes, Hunter and his lawyers sat there as if to say, "I dare you to let me speak now." While he didn't speak, members of Congress did. Democrat Jared Moskowitz dared Republicans to let Hunter speak now in front of the world, but no one took that bait. That happened after Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina chastised Hunter for spitting in their faces and asked, "What are you afraid of? Have you no balls?" Isn't that how the duel between Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr started? Republicans tripped over themselves to try to yell at Hunter, causing Republican Andy Biggs to blurt out to his colleagues, "Don't act like a bunch of Nimrods." Too late, Andy. Way too late. And just as Margie Taylor Greene was about to put aside her Jewish space laser tinfoil hat to cut a heel promo on Hunter, Biden and his team got up and left, walking away as a certifiable nutjob Republican accused Hunter of being afraid of strong women. Folks, that was the best episode of Veep I have ever seen. The world may be burning up as we speak, literally, but who are we if we can't laugh at the Republican voters, people elected to lead us to the rest of the world? That didn't make sense. This teleprompter just broke my life. That's the news. Alden, anything you want to talk about?
Oh, man. What a time. I